The air in the Sunset Wild Reserve thickened as two massive gold-maned predators paced the perimeter of their enclosure. They were magnificent, each easily topping 500 pounds of muscle and raw power, the undisputed kings of their territory. Yet every soul watching held their breath, completely paralysed by the sight of the small, greying German Shepherd. This German Shepherd, named Max, was once their mother, but they hadn't seen her in 2 long years. Now the question hung heavy in the air. Would 2 years of wild instinct erase a bond forged in milk and love? The lions saw her, they tensed, their massive shoulders bunching as they began their swift, silent approach. The handlers outside the wire frantically reached for the safety lever, ready to yank Max back to safety before the inevitable happened. But the reserve director's hand shot up in a silent, rigid demand to wait. It had all started with an impossible tragedy when the lioness Maya, a rescue who had survived the unthinkable. She gave birth to twin cubs, Raja and Nala.
She was meant to be their lifeline, but in a final devastating twist, she rejected them entirely, refusing to feed or even acknowledge their tiny, desperate cries. The staff at the reserve were heartbroken, knowing that without immediate intervention, the cubs would not last the night, their fragile lives fading fast. A frantic search for a nursing animal led them to Max, an 8-year-old German Shepherd, who had just finished raising her own litter. And though she had a history of being indifferent to any other animal outside her family, something in the mournful whimpers of the abandoned cubs awakened a profound ancient instinct. As Max was cautiously introduced, the reserve staff prepared for the worst: a growl, a snap, a rejection. But instead, Max walked directly to the trembling newborns, gently nudged them with her snout, and then lay down, allowing the 2 tiny, spotted bodies to latch onto her side and begin to feed. In that moment, a dog that never liked cats became the most unlikely mother to the future rulers of the jungle. And if this story of defiant love touches your heart even a little, take a moment to hit that subscribe button right now and join the community that believes in miracles. Max didn't just provide nourishment. She became their world, cleaning their velvety fur, guarding their slumber, and teaching them the gentle boundaries of affection. Raja and Nala grew rapidly, their paws becoming enormous, their playful nips turning into unsettling pressure, and their baby roars maturing into deep chest-rattling vibrations. Despite the scrapes and the clumsy razor-sharp claws that would accidentally catch her skin, Max never once growled or corrected them with force. She simply endured, her eyes filled with the unwavering devotion only a mother can possess, because to her, the golden-eyed cubs, who now towered over her, simply her baby. But as they neared the 2-year mark, the difficult decision had to be made. Their primal nature was asserting itself, and the risk was simply too great, so Max was tearfully returned to her forever home, while Raja and Nala were moved into a vast, protected habitat, their memory of the dog mother slowly receding into the depths of their wild consciousness. Now, years later, the moment of truth arrived. Max stepped fully onto the dirt floor of the enclosure, a silent, fragile figure against the towering backdrop of the fully mature lions. The noise stopped, the handlers were frozen, and the only sound was the wind, anticipating a tragic end to this extraordinary story. Raja and Nala stopped their charge mere feet from the dog who had saved their lives. They lowered their massive heavy heads, their senses taking in the scent of their forgotten caretaker, and then, in a collective moment that shattered every scientific understanding of the wild, they began to rub their huge muscular bodies against the small dog, their powerful tails swaying back and forth just as they did when they were tiny cubs struggling for milk. Max responded in kind, licking their enormous faces, her tail a blur of pure, unadulterated joy, a sight that reduced the hardened staff to tears. It was an embrace that transcended species, instinct, and time itself. The reserve director, his voice choked with emotion, later admitted that this moment was not an exhibition of training, but of memory, of recognition, and of a bond so deeply imprinted that nature simply could not not erase it. This powerful reunion was not merely a story of survival. It was the ultimate proof that the strongest families are not defined by blood or instinct, but by the unconditional, unbreakable promise of love. A love that crosses every boundary and defies every expectation. If you believe in the impossible power of connection, leave a comment below and share this miracle with anyone who needs to be reminded that love always wins.